Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful people. My name is Fidel Omar Rodriguez. I'm going to be your instructor this spring 2024 for the College Algebra Co-Requisite class. So y'all, we have this class is actually two classes combined into one. So we have a course called MATL0014, and then we have Math1414 College Algebra. So the way this class is run, y'all, is that everybody in our class is not deemed college ready in math by the state of Texas. So what we have is the 0014 is material that we need to cover to get you all ready for college algebra. So in the MATL 0014 class, y'all, I'm setting everything up for weeks 1 through 3. So today, if this is the first day of school and you're watching this video, which I hope you're watching on January 16th, which is the first day of school, everything is ready for weeks 1, 2, and 3. I set everything up for the first 3 weeks. All the materials, which is course notes that I made myself, YouTube videos, y'all, that I made myself. I have organized those in a YouTube playlist just for you guys because that's how much I care about you and I really want y'all to do well. And homework assignments and some quizzes, okay? So everything is set up for weeks 1, 2, and 3. All of that material, y'all, is going to be due at 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, February the 6th. Okay, so we got to get everything done in those 3 weeks. There is a weekly activities folder. I'll get to that part in a minute, okay? Once we do first 3 weeks, then we're going to go to the Math1414 Blackboard shell, okay? So if right now you're watching this video in the Math1414 shell, that's okay. But once we're done with all this, you're going to go back and everything for weeks 1 through 3 will be in MATL 0014. Everything from weeks 4 through 16 will be in the 1414 class. Okay, so I just want to give you an idea of how I organized our Blackboard shell. So obviously we have this welcome video. The second thing we're going to have, y'all, is going to be a welcome folder. In that folder, there's going to be something like a course description that just kind of breaks down what it is we do. The links for the syllabi are there in both classes. I've organized both courses the same way, so the syllabus is there. In the syllabus, guys, there's a lot of important information. You do need to read through it. I know the syllabi is lengthy. I don't have anything to do with that. That's just how the college has it set up. But in there, I have how I break down your grades, how much like the homework average is worth, how much is the quiz average worth, how much are the tests worth and the final exam. All that stuff can be found in the course syllabus, okay? So make sure you do read through that. There's also a link to a student handbook. Y'all, I have to look at a faculty handbook and I also have to look at an employee handbook. Both of those are well over 100 pages. I don't know how long the student handbook is. I know it's lengthy, but there's a lot of information in there and you do need to be at least familiarize yourself with it, okay? Not necessarily today, but you may have questions, there may be things that may arise. Look in the student handbook, you might find it there. And then there's just a little course, just a little introduction about who I am as an individual, that kind of stuff. It's up to you if you want to read it. It's not really all that important. The next thing in our Blackboard shell, y'all, is my contact information. How can you reach me? So in there, obviously is my name, my phone number, y'all, my email address, my office hours. In my office hours and on what days do I have office hours at what particular times. So y'all, before the pandemic hit, my office, and I've always taught at Pecan. After we started coming back in person, I ended up teaching at the Mid-Valley campus in Wesco, but my office is still in Pecan. But because I don't have any classes there, I'm just kind of in Wesco. So I created a Google number, so I don't have my phone with me, it's inside the house, but I have my iPhone, you can call me on there. Guys, reasonable hours, right? Like 9 to 5 type of thing, right? So if you're, oh, it's 11:30 at night, I gotta ask the sir a question, let me give him a call. Let's not do that, okay? Guys, no texting through the Google number, okay? We do have Pronto, which is a messaging system that STC uses. That's how you can message me if you want to send me a quick message, okay? But all that is in there in the contact information. The next thing, y'all, is I have a document that has all the links to our course notes. So there's actual links, like you click on it, and it's going to take you to a PDF, and I have all the course notes for our class, each of the individual chapters set up, okay? The next thing I have, y'all, is a link to the YouTube playlist. So I made all my own videos, and it's me working out the problems. You can hear me speaking over it. I'm giving you guided instructions. Guys, the idea behind the YouTube videos, I try to make those videos as if you and I were sitting in a room together. Okay, so I really spent a lot of time on them. They're really, really helpful. Okay, because if you can watch those videos and you can get through that, then the assignments are going to be much easier to complete. I also have a link to the course calendar. Okay, so like I said, this is the MATL0014 in the college algebra class. So weeks 1 through 3 is pretty much 0014 material. And then weeks 4 through 16 is the college algebra material. We will come back at the end of the semester in the 0014 to take a final exam in there as well. But it's kind of set up that way, okay? Y'all, the seventh thing in our list, I'm just kind of going down the way my Blackboard class is set up, is I have a folder called the weekly activities folder. So when you click on that, y'all, and you're going to see like, here's week 1, here's week 2, here's week 3. Like I said, for the MATL 0014 class, everything, all 3 weeks already set up, okay? What are you going to find in there? You're going to find instructions on how to get started. What assignments you're going to have to do. I'm very specific with which notes I want you to look at, which videos I want you to watch, and which homework assignments I want you to complete in each of those 3 weeks, right? Like I said, y'all, everything for that class is due on February 6th. I strongly recommend following how I set it up, right? So if I say do homework assignments 1 through 5 in week 1, I really encourage you to do it. Even though it's not due till the 6th, I encourage you to do it that way. Why? I tried to spread them out evenly, okay? If you say, well, look, everything is due on the February the 6th, why don't I really just get started on February the 1st? Because there's a lot of stuff to do, right? That's how I set it up. When we get to the college algebra class, I'm going to be setting things up 2 weeks at a time. So you'll see weeks 4 and 5. You'll see weeks 6 and 7, right? You'll see weeks 8 and 9, so on and so forth. Let's see, what else do we have? Underneath that, there is a link called Pearson. So Pearson, y'all, some of you may have used Pearson before. It used to be called My Math Lab. Sometimes people still call it My Math Lab. But it's basically the software that we're going to use to do all of our assignments, okay? So unfortunately, guys, you don't have to buy a textbook for our class, but you do have to buy the software, okay? So you're going to click on the Pearson link there. I did provide instructions in the week 1 folder on how to create your MyLab course or your Pearson's MyLink class. So you'll click on that, you'll follow the instructions, right? If you've used Pearson before, you'll go ahead and sign in with your information. But there's going to be a part where you're going to have to, like if you've never used Pearson before, you're going to have to create an account. So what do you need? You need your email address. So guys, make sure it's an email address that you know. You have to create a password, right? There's going to be instructions on how your password has to be set up, right? So many characters, a capital letter, a number, you know, a sign like a question mark or something like that, right? Make sure you follow all that stuff through. When you get to the part, because you do have to pay for the software, initially, y'all, there should be a link at the very bottom that shows you how to get temporary access for at least 2 weeks. You can definitely do that. I encourage you to do that. But at some point, you're going to have to pay for it. And there's going to give you a couple options. One of them is an 18-week option, and one is like a 24-month option. The 18-week option just means that at the end of 18 weeks, you will no longer have access to MyLab. If you feel like you're going to get through the course in one shot, meaning you're going to take the class starting now in January of 2024, and when May comes around, you know I'm dedicating myself to passing this class. An 18-week option is a great option to do. Okay, it's much less expensive. When you go for the 24-month option, all that means is that you have 2 years of that account, of that access. Okay, so if you make it through the semester, well, yeah, maybe you spend a little bit extra money. But if for whatever reason you have to withdraw the semester, something happens, or you're just not feeling it and you have to bail, the next time you take the class, you would not have to pay for the software again, as long as you do it in that 24-month period, okay? Let's see. The next thing is a link called Pronto. So Pronto, y'all, is a messaging system that STC uses. It's basically like WhatsApp for STC, okay? You don't have to put any of your information in. There's no phone numbers or anything like that, but we get like a class created for us, and I send multiple messages through Pronto. Okay, so I use Pronto a lot, y'all, especially because we're an online class. What I try to use Pronto for is number one, communicating with you guys. Hey, y'all, these assignments are due this coming Tuesday. Make sure you get everything set up, right? Make sure you finish your stuff. How are y'all doing? Do y'all have any questions for me? If you have questions for me, y'all, as you're going through your assignments, what I'd like for you to do is to take your phone or whatever, take a picture of the problem. You can send it in the group chat or you can send it to me directly. A lot of students send it to me directly, not necessarily in the group. I mean, some do both. But some will send it to me directly and say, Mr. Rodriguez, I'm working on number 7 out of, 1.5, and I got stuck on this problem. Can you help me? What I do is I make a video of me working out that problem, and I send it in the group chat for our class. And I say, hey, listen, everybody, one of our classmates had a question on number 7 out of 1.5. I don't mention any names. I said, here's a video on how to do the problem. This has proven to be really helpful because if one person has a question on a particular problem, usually there's at least 3 or 4 others that do, sometimes more. And now everybody can see that problem, okay? And if you may not have gotten to number 7 yet, but when you get to number 7, if you're struggling with it, you might say something like, you know what, Mr. Rodriguez sent out a video last week or yesterday or whatever it happens to be, or 10 minutes ago. Maybe that's the problem that he sent. Let me go and look, and oh, wow, look, there it is, right? So Pronto is really, really useful, guys. I use it a lot, okay? I usually send you guys 2 to 3 messages a week, sometimes more if there's more questions that come up, okay? After that, there is a link to the tutoring page through STC. So it's going to tell you, hey, look, we have tutoring centers at every campus. We have online tutoring available, and it's going to let you know what you need to do to get help. Okay, so I definitely encourage you to use that. And finally, the last thing, y'all, is the link to the course evaluation. So you guys, towards the end of the semester, probably like April, you're going to get an opportunity to evaluate me as your instructor. So you can say, you know what, Mr. Rodriguez, these are things that you did that I really enjoyed. I think we can do better if you tried to do this. And guys, I've been teaching, I just finished 27 years, taught my first class in 1997, right? January of 1997. I was 23 years old. I just turned 50. Oh my God, I'm 50, right? But I've done 27 years. Every semester, y'all, I'm always looking for ways to make my classes better, to make the experience better for you guys, okay? So anyway, I wanted to go through that. The last thing I'm going to say, y'all, because I'm looking at the video and it's already 12 minutes and change, is I want you to think about why you're here. I mean, I know you're taking college algebra because it's some kind of a requirement for your degree plan, but what's your overall goal? Are you here because you want to become a respiratory therapist? Are you here because you want to become an elementary school teacher? Why are you here? Are you here because you want to teach history? Are you here? What is your why? Okay, I want you to think about that. You can tell me if you want to. You can always send me messages. I'm gonna remind you guys of this throughout the semester, but I want you to think about your why, and keep that in mind throughout the semester. Guys, this class, had we been meeting in person, would meet twice a week for 3 hours. 3 hours is a really long time. So remember when you were a little kid and you had to go to church, and church was an hour, and how long that was? Okay, now imagine having to go to church for 6 hours a week, right? 3 hours on Monday, 3 hours on Wednesday. It's a lot. Guys, this class moves quickly. There's a lot of assignments each week. You really have to keep up with everything. At times, it can be overwhelming. I understand that. I'm going to do my best to help you guys out as much as I can. What I want you to keep in mind is, what is your why? Why are you here? So those times, those days that it gets overwhelming, remember your why. Because I want to be a 3rd grade teacher. Because I want to be a respiratory therapist. Whatever it happens to be, remember your why. Guys, I'm always available to help you guys out. If there's something that you need, let me know, okay? Let me know. I'm very accommodating. Now, if you come in, you're like, sir, I didn't get a chance to finish these last 2 assignments. Can I get an extension? I'm usually going to tell you yes, right? If this happens, like, sir, I didn't do this, sir, I didn't do this, sir, I didn't do this, we're going to have a conversation with, listen, what's going on, because you're not doing what you got to do in the time that I'm giving you, okay? So anyway, guys, I hope we have a great semester. You can see right now, I'm outside. It's sunny, right? So I'm doing this a couple of days before classes start. When you're watching this, we're all going to be freezing. It's going to be really cold, so stay warm. Let me know what I can do to help you guys out, because that's what my number one goal is. I want to be here to help you guys out, okay? I'm on your side. I want y'all to do well. We're going to have a great semester. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Anything you need, guys, let me know. Pronto messages work great. You can call me, again, 9 to 5, that kind of thing. My email address is there as well, guys. I check my email multiple times a day. But anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are staying warm. Let's have a great semester, okay? Bye-bye, y'all.